come to terms with your parents. Your mother is your first guru. Your father is your second guru. Then comes the teacher, an outer guru. And then only comes God. They say someone who teaches you mantra, if you do anything bad against that person, that sin you can never pay back. It's giving you the key to the going home. Today they're giving Diksha over the phone.
They're giving what?
Diksha.
Diksha?
Giving Shaktipat also, over the phone, over the internet. I know a crazy Australian was doing that. Dana from Melbourne. He gives Shaktipat over Facebook.
What do you think of that?
He wants to kick him.
It's like saying...
Ask Facebook to write you an application where you can keep people
Yeah.
over Facebook.
Okay. I need to say, you gotta apply
You
to
can
me.
already give someone a poke, but
Yeah.
you will give Shri Param's kick.
Because Shaktipat, you need Shakti to be passed through your body. You see, once the Shakti has gone into your body and opened the channels for you, then you can keep practicing and go faster. But you first need to open the channel.
How do you know your student has channel open?
No, I have to open the channel. The student doesn't know that.
Right. What I'm
Well,
saying
maybe
is
you
when you
have
meet
worked long
students.
enough to have his channels open.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need it. Yeah, so how do you know that? I mean, are my channels open or no? You can look at me and then what can you say?
Oh, I beg your pardon. What did I do with you yesterday? Why did I ask you to come and sit with me here?
You touched my hands and so I...
Yeah, but then I didn't.
Well, that's...
I just left you there, and I just said, okay, this is not... Because the channel, opening the channel, that is a very personal part. You know what I mean? If I want to kick you personally, come and see me and I give you a kick first.
You want to kick me too?
In public, there's only certain things that I will share of your personal life. So, once your Shakti path is open, that doesn't mean you become a saint. Then you can start working.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But I know that physical, personal contact is necessary. But as a teacher, I know it's also very personal between the student and the teacher.
The
question is just in general, how do you know, or is it just an intuition from you that your student is ready?
That you never come to me if you're not ready. When you see me, you run away. After the first time you meet me, you don't want to see me again. There are people who, see, I'm not what your normal lala teacher who's very nice to you and, you know, keep feeding your ego. I do things that are not the normal professional thing. So it takes guts for someone to keep being with me. Then once they have proven, then I go one step further. It's passion. It takes that. See, like in 3 days, I can make the whole Kundalini, everything right.
If you're ready.
If you're ready. If you, not so much if you're ready. Everybody that walks in and meets someone and say, please teach me, They don't know whether they want. You may not say, "Please teach me how to go home," but please teach me to change my life. Already have come to that stage. Okay, the method is this: whether you're lazy or whether you're hardworking, whether you have chosen the right thing or whether you're still immature and you're going around groping and trying to find. Because there's no such thing as finding. It is. The most important thing is that you got to focus on the fact of, do I want to be happy? Do I want, okay, that is earthly thing. Do I want to go home? To be happy and to go home is not an easy journey. Like, for you to get your degree, was it an easy journey? Did you sleep and then pass your exam? You worked very hard. Okay? To do sales, do you work hard? For what?
Money.
For money. What money can give you?
Just things.
Things. But not happiness. How many years, let's be open.
Mm-hmm.
How many years have you been married, both of you?
24.
24 years.
How
No,
much of
23
it were
years.
you fighting each other?
How many years?
Oh,
Okay.
From the day we met.
From the day we met.
So 26.
And how many of those years you were fighting each other?
26.
Oh, you're fighting for 24 years?
Like she said yesterday, we wore out. We had therapists that quit. We don't quit the therapists; they quit us. No, the last one said you're two good fighters. I can't do it.
No, we.
That's true.
No, he's a kappa. He's a hot-tempered person as well.
Yeah, we're both.
Yeah.
We're both very strong personalities.
Yeah.
One of my spiritual.
No, the question here always, remember this, okay? He's your canvas, no more than that.
That's true.
So when you get angry with him, you're getting angry with yourself. And the same thing for you. When you get angry with her, it's not because you can't manage her. You don't know how to manage her.
Right.
That's true.
So whose fault is it?
Mine.
Yeah. So once you realize that, then you don't get angry.
Right.
You get angry with yourself for going there. And then you start seeing the picture, the scenarios. Then you see why that scenario happens. And you say, I don't need that. Once you come to the understanding, you stop fighting.
And not only that, with that tension and stuff, that we've been each other's kind of guru. Like we listen to Byron Katie too. Like I've done work with her, and he's been my biggest teacher because he pushes every single button that I have to transform.
Byron Katie is not so bad. Very long. It's a different story.
Yeah,
He
but
says
he's
a
got
lot of the same things that you're saying. He really
just
has a
takes
lot.
years to get past the harshness.
Yeah, he was a
And
tough teacher
she listened
too.
to
He
him for
wasn't,
5 years before I would even stay in the same room. And then one time I was walking past the living room when she was watching a tape, and he caught my ear, and I said, "Yeah." But for 5 years I wouldn't even listen to him because he's so tough, arrogant. But he says a lot of the same things you say.
Yeah. Oh, Ben Long has the same thing. He also knew.
Woman comes
For that matter, every master knew that if a woman doesn't change, this world is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
He didn't need any. So, but at the same time, a lot of these people dare not go near a woman.
Right. But Barry
Say
did.
that again?
Barry had a relationship with someone.
Barry had a relationship, but the relationship has to be beyond just the physical. It has to be spiritual.
I think he did that though.
No, then, you see, if a man does not know how to look at your face and talk to you, if he is condescending, then he is not there. He's a brilliant teacher. But every time I've seen his tapes or videos, I find that he's talking this way when people are talking this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
And he doesn't look straight. Whenever I go anywhere, any mass, any teacher, anything, if they don't look at me and talk, I say, forget it. I walk out that second. Because you got to respect your student. You got to see the God and goddesses within them. You got to love them, and you got to be part of their lives as one. Because they are part of your life. If I don't teach you, I don't learn. You understand? So whatever I do for you, I'm also gaining.
Doing for yourself.
So why should I look down on you? However stupid you can be. There is no criterion for stupidity. And nothing is stupid. So how can you judge anyone to be high, low or medium? So when you're a teacher, not all the students come to you. I mean, what's the population in New York?
12 million.
12 million. How many real Americans are here? 2. Born here? Right here? He's
Staten
a Russian.
Island.
He's an
Kicking in more
Australian. He's a
Americans.
Filipino. He's an English. He's a Jamaican.
No, I'm from Trinidad.
Trinidad. Okay? So it's all foreigners sitting together in a room here.
But that is the definition of New York. New York is a...
Yeah. But what I'm saying is this, how many do you have New Yorkers who are born in New York? Or in America?
Yeah.
So it is meant to be. If you're meant to meet me, you will meet me. What did you tell me when we met? You said, "Oh, I'm a businessman. I don't know how I can make it."
Yeah.
But then something inside of you said, "No, you're going to make it." So that is. So when he comes to me in that level, I can't say, are you ready or not ready? You are ready. The only thing is this, whether your ego allows you to take the next step. Because we have a critical faculty that think that we know what is right and wrong for us. Even we make thousands of mistakes, but we still think we know. We don't let our soul define our journey. We let our mind define our journey. Okay? So it's time that we allow our soul to make decisions for us. Gut feeling. That defines what you do in this life. Then you find your journey is beautiful. You go somewhere.
How do you learn to listen to your soul? I mean, there's been recently like some important decisions, for example, in my life. I want to take a decision, and I'm trying to I'm sitting, meditating. Okay, what's my gut? And I don't get the answer. I mean, how do you?
You can't. You can't. It's not a scientific examination. You just like sometimes you just feel like you got to go somewhere. Or you got to, say for instance, say you want to see me. You have a feeling that you want to see me, okay? And then there's a mind that interferes and says, no, maybe I'll go to this one, or maybe I'll go to that one. That's the one that stops you from coming to me, or anything. I mean, I'll give you an example. So it's a gut feeling that some things happens. A lot of things you actually know. It happens when you're not thinking about it.
So you can't get it meditating.
Meditating, you have to be a very advanced, closer to where Yogananda or Muktananda, not Muktananda even, Shivananda, Yogananda, Ramakrishna, close to their status, when you can actually sit down and then know where you're going. But again, if you can still your mind, get rid of a lot of the rubbish, and only keep the essential, then you can even do it without going there. But generally speaking, there's a lot of time in your daily life. You want to do something, and then your logic interferes. Because your soul is always interacting with you. You're not interacting with the soul, that's all. Because otherwise you'd be dead. We, as I say, everything is sound in our whole body, but we can't hear it. Through yogic practice we can hear it. That doesn't mean there's no sound in our body. The same thing with the soul. You have a purpose. And then how you're going to fulfill the purpose is the question. So the soul keeps giving you indications, but your mind is the one that keeps going away from it. Why did you think you took up yoga? You think your brains?
Of course not.
Yeah. And then you had the feeling that instead of going to gymnastics, you felt yoga. And then your brain gave, okay, so it worked with what your brains also wanted. There are a lot of things that the soul is going to say where your brain doesn't have the information.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, you don't respond to it because your logic wouldn't allow you to respond to it. That's all. But your soul communicates with you all the time. In your dream stage, more so.
You mean asleep?
Dream stage is subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is closely connected to your soul than your conscious mind.
Yeah, last night when I was sleeping, I woke up in the middle and like, pow, like this big surge of energy went through, and like that, whatever we did yesterday went through, you know, or woke something up.
Yeah.
And it was when I was completely like in a dead sleep.
You see, you have this very strong,
Mm-hmm.
but this you got to
Mm-hmm.
open up.
Right.
Then then he'll have a hard time.
He already did the torment.
Huh?
So he already does.
No, the
Don't
thing
put
is
any more on him.
but he doesn't have to work very hard on you anymore after that.
Oh, right, right.
Because when it's here, and when it's too active,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a lot of problems as well. But because of my upbringing, I didn't use that much
Mm-hmm.
until my practice, and then now with my work, it's used a lot. So always try to listen to yourself. Not your critical self, but the one that comes when you're not aware. When you're not aware, you get information. That's what you look at.
Why do you say not aware? I thought the other way. You mean when the mind is not in power,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
you are aware.
Oh, you're
if
aware.
you're not aware
Yeah.
that you then
Yeah,
you
okay,
won't-
sorry,
won't get
okay.
anything.
When the mind is not active, when you're not thinking, what shall I do, where am I going to go, what am I going to do, when you don't have any of those concepts, and you're just having a cup of tea and talking, and suddenly you get this impulse
Mm-hmm.
that say, I should do this. Then you look at how to do it. Look at how to do things rather than trying to find reasons why you shouldn't do it. Okay, let's have 10, 15 minutes. What's the time now?
12:35.
Okay, let's have 10, 15 minutes break.
Okay.
And then we have one session, and then we have lunch, and then when we come back in the afternoon, it's all no more lectures, right up to whatever time we feel exhausted, then we break.
What are we doing at that point? Are we doing healings or?
Healing.
Oh, good. Okay.
No more talking,
Okay.
because I can talk to you for the next 10 days.
Non-stop.
Non-stop, yeah.
I can verify that.
I have a guy who came to me. He was a scientist, also from Sydney. Sorry, Canberra. He came to me in Mount.
A scientist from Canberra?
Hmm?
A scientist from Canberra?
He worked for the university.
Was he the most boring person on the face of the planet?
He was.
I said, was he the most boring person on the face of the planet? Canberra's the capital of Australia. It's possibly the most boring city on the planet.
This is an Australian. I like it.
Canberra?
I lived in Canberra for a while.
Oh my God. My brother and I call it God's waiting room. Because it's like everyone there is dead and they're just waiting to die. That's my experience of Canberra.
What do you think of Newcastle?
Newcastle's got a beach. It's great compared to Canberra.
For the beach? This is Australian. They have